back. So we have some kind of event with our directive right here that can listen for when we are hovering, right? Now we need to add another event inside our directive that knows when I'm actually dropping this, so I'm ready to do an upload, right? So I'll kind of add that right now, kind of a drop event inside my directive. So just like we have in the directive, the upload directive, we have the output of hovering. We're going to make another output right here. So I'm just going to copy this guy and I'm going to call it dropped. There we go. And that's going to return, instead of a Boolean value, we're actually going to return what we call a file list. And that's actually something from ECMAScript 6. So it's just something that we don't need to create from scratch ourselves. It's not like the user class that we created earlier. This is something that ECMAScript already knows about. So let's just keep it in that format right here. So now we have a file list. So when we're dropping something, we can start emitting to other people that we just made this drop. How to do that? Well, we need to go down when we listen here for the drop. We have an event. Now that event right now is just writing the event, but we can actually now use the emitter, just like we did earlier. We're going to use the dropped emitter right here, and then we can emit what we're actually dropping right here. Now I want to kind of emit that I'm dropping the events has a very specific thing called the data transfer property right here. Data transfer property, not date, data transfer property. And that guy can actually tell me the list of files that I just dragged over, right? So this is kind of the way that I can emit to other people that I just made a drop of files to this, whoever this directive is on right now, the tag that's it's being used on right now. Oh man, I have a bug. It needs to be a capitalized T, of course, data transfer. That's why it was, notice it was great. It wasn't purple in my code, so I couldn't see that this was actually an error. But now it seems right now. So there we go. Now we have a way for us to kind of emit the drop when we're kind of dropping something to our profile component right here, the HTML file, this directive we're using right here. And how do we use it? Well, it's exactly the same like with the hover. We now have a dropped available. Notice there it is. And I can now add a function right here. Just call it upload file, something like that. Upload new image. I don't know. Well, that's just a name. And I'll just send in the actual list of files right here just by adding the event like we're doing right here. Sweet. So let's go into our code now. There we go. Jumping into the component. And I'm going to make this new function. Let's just make it right below this guy. Oh, let's just remove that error right there. And here I'm just going to send in a file list, right? Because that's kind of what I passed from the directive. So I know that's a file list I'm going to send in right here. Let's just console log the file list just to see that we actually have a good access point here. File list, and let's actually write in front of it so that we know that we are console logging this. Hi, like this. And here we have the file list, like this. Let's try and see if this works. So I'm going to jump back to my code. Again, always refresh when you do this because you want to know that your directive is actually working. And I've seen a few times where it didn't work until I kind of did a refresh. So I'm going to drag this image here now, this image right here, and just drop it. There we go. I got a file list with a single file right here. I got the name of the file and some other metadata for the file, like when was it modified, when was what's the size of the file, what's the type of the file, right? I can use all of this to kind of decide if this is an image I want to allow the system to drop, right? So that's pretty awesome. Now we're ready to kind of try and actually next lesson upload this to Firebase when we're dropping an image. So let's try that next time. See you next lesson. Now we kind of updated our directive so it's ready to accept drops. See you next time. Have fun.